Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to Simracing Bible. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend is going well for you guys. Tonight, we're back in Live for Speed. We're going to be checking out some of the new and latest mods released for Live for Speed. It's been a little while since we've been and checked some of these latest mods out, so we're going to give that a go this evening and try out some of the new cars, bikes, trucks, whatever we can find, really. So, going to jump into it, see what we can do, and have some fun this evening. Now, I'm aware there's some rather large events going on this evening, such as Le Mans Virtual and Dubai 24 Hour, etc. All that kind of stuff going on. So if you are watching this live, thank you for watching it live. Much appreciated. If you are watching this after the fact, welcome to you too. So let's jump into the game now and see where we're going to get ourselves started for the evening. So here we go. Welcome to Michelle Malak, who has already got a suggestion in for a mod to try this evening, being the E-Challenger Evo. We will certainly give that a go. Welcome to Frank. Good evening, Frank. Good evening, Marty, as well. Good to see you guys here. So yeah, let's get myself into the stream here as we go. Right, I'll get myself my chat going on here as well. Sky says you shaved. I know you noticed. Yes, no, I did. I shaved my face. I feel very cold, I will be honest. But yeah. I've got some other things to tell you as well. So we're going to start off, first of all, let's go through the list. So I'm going to start off at the top here. There's a rather nice looking sports prototype I'm going to give a try first up. And we've got the Wessex R74 SP. So we're going to give this one a rip first. Let's get my wheel in the right position. Cool looking model. Looks kind of 70s sports car prototype-ish. Looks very nice indeed. Nice looking detail on the model. What colour options have we got? I've got a couple of number options there. Nice stripe version. And one with a nose. Oh yeah, we're going to have to go with the red and gold. I think that's definitely the colour go for us. So yeah, let's go take them a drive. Marty says, Agetec pedals arrived yesterday. Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Which ones did he go for, Marty? Did he go for the Invictus or the Fortes? That's the big question. And secondly, are you happy with them? That's the other big question. So yeah, some news for you guys. So I attended the Autosport International show yesterday on Friday. I'm trying to get my dates right. It's all been a mad week. So yeah, so I got to try out some stuff. So I shall go through that this evening as we go. So let's first of all check out this Wessex Sports prototype. The interior looks nice. Got a nice posted mirror on the right hand side that you can just see behind me with a little bit of the wing showing there as well. He went for the Invictus. Oh good, that's what I've got as well. I hope you like them, Marty, I really do. They are very, very nice pedals. So we've got a V8 engine in this thing. I think we can probably bump up the force feedback a little bit for this one. It's reasonably light, but that's okay. Alright, so first things first, this evening we've got some prototype action, so we're going to give this a drive and see how it fares on track. We're on a completely free roam version of West Hill here, so we have free reign over where we head. Down towards the sweeping right-hander. Already feel like there's plenty of grip through the corners, which is nice. You can lean on the tyres as you get through these bends. Down to second gear. Obviously it has a lot more grip available. I'm just feeling my way into this evening. First car out. We don't want to go too mad and go off track already. How far does this rev up to? Just about 11,000 RPM is where the red line kicks in. And the shift light as well. Certainly got a good amount of pace down the straights. Yeah, so I went to the Autosport show yesterday. For the first time as Simracing Bible. I've been before when I was working for Demon Tweaks, but this is the first time I've ever attended the show for Simracing Bible, and that was really good. So you wouldn't have seen any content specifically from me over the day yesterday, but I've got some things I want to share with you because I visited various stands and spoke to various people, and it was quite a useful day at the show yesterday. So stopped by the Digital Motorsports stand and tried out a couple of their rigs which they had available for people to try, but they also had on stand the new Acertech wheelbases and wheels. So I obviously had to give those a go because, you know, I was curious to know what they're like, and I'm quite happy to report that they feel very good indeed. So I used both the Forte and the Invicta wheelbases. They're really quite cool actually because they carry on the theme. So you can see on the pedal cam that my Invicta pedals here have got the LED strip on them, and the wheelbases have 4 of them on as well. They're running down the whole length of the wheelbase, so it carries that lighting theme over, which is pretty cool. But yeah, feel through the wheel is very good. They're kind of pre-production versions that we were trying, but even there it was still very impressive. And the Formula rim that they have is probably the most impressive Formula rim that I've driven, just for the actual grip that you have on them. So the molded grip on the rim itself was perfectly shaped for my hands, and it was just nice to be able to hold on to a Formula rim and have, you know, a really comfortable grip. So that was really cool. So yeah, that was fun. So I got to try out some cool new Acertech products and see all their, well, not all there, but some of their mounting options as well, and the integrated power and cutoff switch buttons, which was good. And then the other thing I tried on the stand was the new SimuCube active pedals. These are the $2,500 per pedal pieces of equipment, which yeah, they're very pricey, but they're quite impressive. Quite like the rumbling that you get, the vibration through the actual pedal itself, and they felt very natural. I mean, obviously when you drive a pedal, it's not really going to be, I don't know, massively standoutish, but they felt right and they felt natural, so that was quite good. But I did try, linked up with that rig was a D-Box motion system, and yeah, I just felt so weird. Couldn't focus on where I was going most of the time. But yeah, so that was good. Anyway, what about this Wessex? Well, I've done a couple of laps already. It's quite nice to drive. It's quite neutrally balanced. It's not oversteery or understeery inherently. It's quite nicely balanced, and there's lots of grip, and you can lean through the corners on these tyres, and it actually feels very good. Very stable. Oops, that's just me going too quickly through that one. But yeah, sounds good, and the yeah, the overall look of the car is very nice as well. Of course, we've got a bit of downforce from the rear wing and the body shape as well, so you can still get it sideways. It's good to know. But yeah, no, it's quite a nice car. This one's a good strong start, I think. So if you like your historic race cars, this is one to try out. Not sure if it's running full slicks though. Let's just go back to the pits and just check that. Yeah, it is. It's running slicks. That's why it's got so much grip as well. Whereas potentially cars of this era may not have had full slicks. They may have had a treaded tyre. But very nice indeed. I like that one. Good car. Right. I'm going to go with Michelle's first suggestion. So we're going to try out the E-Challenger Evo. So this is obviously Formula E based machine, kind of geared around the current generation with the the plane and the Aerofighter look to it. Different front wing to it though. But yeah, let's have a look, see what this is like. So we've got some options here. We've got default dry, default wet, and halo lights option as well. Okay. Where are these lights down the body of the car then, are they? Because I can just see when you change that on, you've got all those going on. Interesting to see what that is. But yeah, let's give this a go. Let's what the colours we've got: white, yellow, red, and pink. So let's go with the yellow one for this one. Right. So we've had a Formula E car in Live for Speed before, and this is like a updated version of that particular car. So presumably it's just a case of engage first gear or drive and then let the electric motors take over. So So, Marty says, order grid MPX wheel, still haven't decided on a wheelbase yet. Okay, cool. Sounds good. This one's got a bit more force feedback than the Wessex, so let's turn that down ever so slightly. Again, it's just one of those things you've got to get used to with a lack of engine sound and just electric motors whirring away. Super quick though. The new iteration of Formula E is faster, so they are upping their speeds on track. Let's see if we can get back on track ourselves. Here we go. Ooh, hello. Now we've got some oversteer issues. Let's try that again. Sorry, let's go that way. Right, off we go. So Frank says this one appeals to me on looks alone. You're a fan of Formula E, are you, Frank? We'll have to see how it happens this year. I believe there's some technical difficulties they're working through with motors not stopping when they lift off the throttle, or brakes not working or something, which they're hoping to fix by round 2, which sounds a bit... it sounds a bit sketchy to me, but... So Frank says grass physics probably way better than every other title. They are quite good, actually. I mean, there's a limited amount of grip when you get on the grass. Oh, wow. It's quite happy to get sideways, this thing. So obviously Formula E cars are more geared towards tight street circuits, really, rather than fast flowing open circuits such as West Hill here. Maybe we should have taken this to South City. Maybe we'll do that. We need to put it in its natural habitat, really, don't we? So let's do that. Let's come out of here. Let's load up South City instead. Where's it gone? There it is. Let's do... We'll do a specific circuit, I think. So we'll do... one which is reasonably twisty. Let's try this one. See where we go. Don't think I've properly driven this layout, but we'll get there eventually. So let's see. Oops. Trying to go for another gear when there isn't one. Okay, so we're going left here, right? And then right. Through the little chicane section. And then loop it around to the right-hander here. Obviously with a sim, and you don't have the same kind of view that you would normally get, you obviously wouldn't necessarily notice the halo as much in real life because your eyes would kind of focus past it. But in the sim, it's a bit harder because... where are we going? This way. Yeah, you just have this enormous bit of structure in front of you which you just can't see past. Where are we going? Okay, now we're looping around here. And up the slip road. Okay. Onto the dual carriageway briefly. Trying to spot our exit past the halo. Whereas I'm going to be on the brakes earlier, I reckon, because I think there may be a corner coming up. Okay, this is where we started off, so now we go left. Oops, a little bit of a crunch. The great thing about electronic cars, of course, is that you have instant power delivery and torque across the whole rev range, I suppose you can call it. But that means you do have to be quite careful with your throttle application, otherwise you could end up causing yourself all sorts of pain. Let's get into the loop here. It's pretty feisty on the rear, I will admit. But the cockpit looks nice wheel as well. There we go then, down into the braking point for the flick right, and then drift it through there, get it slowed down. Okay, I think potentially my force feedback's a little low, so let's just turn that back up again so now I can feel what's going on a bit more. Oops, oh no. Not this dead. One too many hits on the wall, I think. Kittig Ruig, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Good to have you on board. Welcome to Sim Racing Bible. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. And clearly you must be if you've subscribed to the channel, so welcome to you. Frank says, Frankie and both Kevins are at a party together. Ah. And why weren't we invited, Frank? That's what I want to know. Okay, well, yeah, the Formula E Challenger Evo. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's a bit of a handful. But with a bit of practice, I'm sure we could get used to that some more. So let's go back up here and let's continue our tour. So we've done one electric vehicle this evening. Let's try the electric bus. I don't know if we've driven this on the channel. I know it's featured in the bus race that we did, but I don't think we've driven it. Let's see what it's like. Let's go to Blackwood, shall we? Oh, exactly, yeah. Wow. It's alright. As long as they're having fun, that's the main thing, Frank. Okay, so the Electrobus. We have a very simple looking cockpit design here, and our hands are just lightly edged on the steering wheel, no kind of secure grip. Let's engage drive. And off we go. We're cruising along in our bus under electric power. This does feel rather heavy, so let's just turn the feedback down a little bit. Ooh. Even with that very slight movement, we've got a little bit of wheel spin, which is an unusual thing for a bus, unless of course it's in the snow. Ooh, and we've also got some tippage. You'd have thought with all the electric batteries we have underneath that would have a low centre of gravity, but seemingly the Electrobus does not like corners. I think we need to get the AI driving this and see if they can handle it. So if they will be able to keep themselves on all four wheels, maybe. Yeah, any kind of turning movement just lifts up the whatever the opposite side of the bus as we go through a corner, and you just get this rise in RPM as the wheels start spinning. Right, let's see if we can drift it through this right-hander at the bottom of the straight here. Get it slowed down, please. No drifting, just rolling over. Oh dear. Probably not the most safest of buses you'll ever go on in your life. It's got some pretty big wheels too. It's like a pimped out version of a bus. Let's I don't know. Honestly, I know some buses can be quite top heavy, but that was quite exaggerated. Frank says, now pay close attention. You can't slow down below a certain speed or the bus explodes. Yes. Recreate that from the movie. That's a bit wild, that thing. Right. Okay, let's move on. So this one then, the Noctaron, obviously isn't a McLaren, of course. Nothing at all to resemble a 720S. But that's pretty cool. I know this one's been modded from scratch, obviously. So it's, yeah. You pretty much know exactly what it is by looking at it. We've got some options. So this is the stock option. Then we have an open roof without the roof panel. We have a light bar edition for a safety car, should you wish. And we have a race version with a rear wing and a roof spoiler as well by the looks of things. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take the stock now. What colours should we have? And we've got McLaren orange, obviously. Oh, very good. Well, you got a Harrod style livery there. Oops. Back. Golf. Golf liveried one. Okay, well, I'm going to take the golf liveried McLaren out for a drive, I think. Right. So what have we got? So we have a little control screen. You probably might not be able to see a little bit of that from behind my screen there, but you've got display there. Let's drive this Noctaran. Again, need to increase the force feedback a slight amount. On the paddle shifters for this one. Down towards turn 1 here at Blackwood. Let's get it turned in. A little bit of traction control kicking in there as well. See how quick it get down the straight. What are we running? I can't quite see the speedo because my wheel's in the way. 175 miles an hour, and you have to get on the brakes. Brakes are good. Get it turned in. And the traction control does definitely keep things very much sensible through the corners. There's no crazy heroics. I did have a little bit of a slide there, but you really do have to push it hard to get it to do any kind of slippage at all. Of course, you can turn the traction control off, which you might have to do just to see how potentially undrivable it may be. But in standard form, which is obviously this one is based on with the stock settings, you would have traction control on because they wouldn't want customers driving away from their showrooms and then promptly spinning it into a bollard or oncoming traffic. So this is very much user-friendly mode. But we might be able to manage without that. So let's go back to the pits and we'll get ourselves a new setup here and we'll go no TC. Where are you? Brakes and TC, there we go. So let's move this, so traction control off. We're not even going to bother changing the allowed amount of slip or anything like that. We're just going to turn it completely off because that's what this is all about. Let's try it. Okay, now we have some rear end action. Let's see what we can do to turn 1. Now it's alive. Again, I'm going to have to just turn that force feedback up a little bit more. There we go. Feel a bit more of the weight through the steering wheel now. Right, get on the brakes nice and early. Turn it in. Too much throttle. Thought it was too good to be true that we didn't manage to spin it yet, but there it is. Ooh. Hi Turbo, welcome along. It says, which version are you on? Of the mod or the game itself? I don't think I've downloaded a new version. There may be a new version. Also a new haircut from last time. No, I don't think there was a new haircut, but there was definitely a shaving of the face, which could be given the illusion of me having less hair, which would be true. I'll tell you what, it's nice. I know we had a little spin down the bottom down there, but that was probably just a little bit of over-exuberance. But it's nice when you get the car sideways and you can really just play with the throttle and the steering and just balancing it through the corners on a nice gentle slide. It's quite pleasant to throw around the Noctarian, not the McLaren, of course. But yeah. Inside's obviously quite basic. You can look at that. There's a lot of sharp edges in there and things, but I appreciate that cockpits aren't the easiest of things to model. But yeah, feels good. That's pretty fun. And of course you have the different options as well if you wanted to have the race version. I don't know if it changes horsepower. So the stock version, or as we were on there, is 5 or 710. There's a race version. No, it doesn't. It just changes aero options. It's still the same power, so... Okay, well that's pretty cool. I like that one. Well, let's move on to this Push 674B, which is... you might be able to guess what it's based on. Bit of Group C action, which is what we can certainly approve of here at SimRacing Bible. So let's find ourselves a suitable one. That's nice Castrol livery. We'll drive that one. So Turbo says, "Are you on the test patch? I updated my Boomer 7 in order to notice the new thing. You need to be on the new version." Actually, I think you can on this Blackwood config notice it too, since you turn on pit limiter. I'm not on the test patch. I think I'm just on the standard release. I haven't put a test patch on the sim. Oh, okay. So this one is sequential only, not H pattern. Using the one of the standard GTR steering wheel rims in this model. A nice view over the wheel arches in front of us. Okay, well that's interesting because it's only using my shifters on the wheel, but I do need to lift off in order to change up. So it's not flat shift sequential, but it's also not H pattern either, so let's get down to the corner down here. Give it a bit of a blip on the downshift. This one is a bit strong on the force feedback, so I'll turn that down a touch. Love the turbo flutter sounds on the overrun as you lift off the throttle. Feels oops, double shift there. Feels quite nice with the corners as well. It's another one of those which you can feel it load up as you get through the corner, which is nice. Very, very quick in a straight line. Hard on the brakes. Very good brakes too. Probably a little too good for a Group C car, but it's alright. Got me out of trouble, that's for sure. Now I can see the speedo a little bit better on this one. So 190 miles an hour. Can we make 200? Not quite before we have to get on the anchors. Only just made it through the corner on that one, but nearly made 200 mile an hour on the back straight here at Blackwood, which is pretty impressive stuff. Good morning, Blade. Good morning to you, wherever you are in the world. Good to see you here. Oop. Ooh, nice. Managed to catch that on the exit. This is quite nice, actually. The turbo sounds are good. You can just hear them spooling up and then obviously dumping it through the wastegates as you lift off. We'll drive it with the clutch properly, even though it's on the paddles. 10 PM with turbo. It's not quite that late here in the UK, but thank you for tuning in wherever you are with the time differences that you have in your location. We appreciate every single one of you. This is quite a satisfying car to drive, actually. Nice force feedback as well. Blade just woke up. Well, I hope you had a good night, and welcome along to your new day. Whoa, hello. That was a bit slidey out of there. Some warm rear tyres now. So Frank says, the tracks are nicely modelled with lots of detail. Also some of the best looking skybox out there for a title of this vintage. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at it, you wouldn't think it was a 2002 title, really. I mean, it's very natural looking, isn't it? It looks good. But yeah, the skybox has always been quite impressive on Live for Speed. It's, you know, there's no real obvious repetition of clouds or anything like that. It's all very nice looking. Hey Skoda, welcome. Good to see you. Turbo says Scowen said he will focus on the tyre physics in January. Let's hope we're getting closer to the update. Yeah, he's been updating us quite a bit with his developments and things, which has been good. So look forward to seeing what he's been working on. Obviously, there's some big changes afoot for Live for Speed in the future coming along. So we'll look forward to those with anticipation and see what happens when they are released. And we'll obviously have a go at checking those out ourselves, because, you know, even at this stage with the sim as it is, it still feels really good. Okay. Excuse me. That's rather impressive. I like that. I like that a lot. That's fun. That's the push 674B. Right. Let's carry on. What else have we got on our list for this evening that we can work through? What's this? The Sluddy Kenunen Sorku. Some kind of drift car. Looks like a chaser, perhaps, or a Sora. I think it's a Sora. Drift car, anyway. So, well, let's go do some drifting and see how we get on. Oh, Blade says, I just woke up. It's 10:30 at night. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you had a good nap or a good sleep. If you're working nights, maybe, and that's why that may be. Right. Let's take this out onto the road section here at Blackwood. Well, that sounds really good, doesn't it? That sounds awesome. Right. Let's go find somewhere to drift around. Just going to turn that down ever so slightly. Let's see what happens. Just get used to the feel of the car on some nice open sections of tarmac, and then we'll try it out on some more enclosed areas and see if we can survive. Oops, went a bit too far then. So I've been trying to practice my drifting a little bit, trying to learn some techniques and just try and improve as we go. So here we go. First test, the roundabout. Yep, failed that one. More practice required. Right, let's try again. So the trick is to go into a higher gear, which allows you to increase the angle. Oops, overdid it. Well, this is actually quite a cool drift car. It's quite easy to handle in a way. I know I'm making it look harder than perhaps it should be, but very easy to just apply opposite lock and then attempt to hold it. But more practice required. Let's try again. So it's all about, for me at least, throttle control. Oops, there's a rock. I think we damaged it. Let's get some fresh tyres and we'll start that again. I love the sounds on this though. I think that's really cool. And you got the popping and banging, you got the rev limiter noises as well. It's a 6-cylinder by the sounds of things. Right. Let's try again without crashing. And try and save some tyres of the bit that we need to drift on properly. Of course, having a proper handbrake would also help in some cases, but I'll have to make do with my button on my wheel if I have that map still. Okay, let's go and have a sideways tour of the business park here. Where should we go? Let's go this way. Oops. This one's getting away from me a little bit here. Let's Oops, fifth gear, that's not what we want. Reverse. Let's go. Curbs playing havoc with me. Right, let's try again. It's all about trying to be gentle with the throttle, really. Squeezing it on and off. And letting the wheel rotate through my hands a little bit. Where are we going here? Okay, I'm going to go into the container part. Oh, I thought I just about judged that right, but nope. Let's drift through some containers. Oops. It's all very easy when there's a nice open space like this. It just gets a bit tricky when you start enclosing the walls slightly. Let's just look around these containers. Alright. Well, that's pretty good as far as drift cars are concerned. I mean, I'm not a natural drifter, I will say that, but you can have some fun with that car. Right, let's move on. Let's make things a little bit more sensible again. So this is the Ada AR8, so this is obviously based on a Audi R8, and I think we've driven an Audi R8 in the past, but I don't think it was this one. I think it may have been an older specs. We've got the daily driver version, we have a no plates version as well, a track day version, which is a little bit more serious, and a Gymkhana edition as well. So let's take the standard one out on track. Ooh, okay. This one's got quite a nice looking interior to it. Is that V10 sound? This one is paddle shift as well. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. You can definitely tell it sounds like a V10. Rear end's a little playful as well, which is good. So I do like the variety you can get in Live for Speed with the mods that you have available to you, and you can pretty much get whatever you are interested in. So whether it's road cars, race cars, or drifting, something a bit more silly perhaps, there's plenty on offer for the casual sim racer to get involved in. But this one's already feeling quite nice on track. Ooh, get on the brakes, Phil. It's better. Slow it down. Series of corners is always fun to just kind of balance the car through there and just let the car just move from right to left and just apply some opposite lock if required, but it's always fun. And then hard on the brakes in for turn one. Difficult to get the speed scrubbed off sometimes. So yeah, a little bit of traction control kicking in there. But it's set at a level which is suitable enough for it not to be so restrictive that you just can't do anything with it, but you do have some help there if it gets a little bit too out of shape, so that's good. But yeah, sounds are nice. Model looks really good as well. Nice on the downshifts. Get it turned into the right-hander. Oops. Turn. Again, quite nice and responsive. When you are going sideways, it's not completely out of control straight away, and you have a chance of recovering it as well, which is good. Even when you do overdo it slightly and get on the the loose stuff on the outside of the circuit, but yeah, no, that's pretty good like that. Right, what else can we find? But yeah, I really like the way that thing looks. It's got a really good model. Right. So Turbo says, one of my favourite mods is the Chorus Attentanza. You should check it out. Okay. Let's have a look. See if I can find that in here. Ah, yes, and this is one I was going to check out. This is, I believe it's been approved mod as well now. Little micro car thing. Very popular cars over in Japan, just because they're so small and you can get them into tight spaces. But we've got a hard track version, a rallycross edition with a bit more knobbly tyres and some higher suspension, road KB, and then stock star setting. Let's try the road KB one for this one. Colours options: silver, grey, black, red, blue, green. Oh, we have to go with the pink one, aren't we? Right, let's do this. Where should we go? Let's go back to West Hill for this one, I reckon. I'll start off from... I'll test it out on the little kart circuit and see where it handles, and then we'll go elsewhere. Yeah, so this, Sky mentions there, this one is modelled on a Daihatsu. I'm not quite sure of the official model for it, but yeah, I've actually had 2 Daihatsu charades when I was younger. Loved every one of them. They're brilliant. Okay, so we've got quite a nice looking textured interior there with the old school sliders for your fan controls, your heat and your cold, and where you want them. None of this button nonsense. We have analog sliders. Right, here we go then. Let's test out the capabilities of this little car. Nowhere better to check out handling characteristics on a tight, twisty kart circuit such as this. Look at that, so you can find all the apexes. A little bit of body leaning going on as we get through these corners. Helps if you find third gear, Phil. Right on the second gear, chuck it into the hairpin. So this should be front-wheel drive, of course, but I very much doubt we have enough power to be able to create wheel spin through the corner. The only way we could possibly do that is if we apply some handbrake. Oh, no, like that. Oh no, I invalidated my hot lap. It's fine. So obviously a little small capacity engine in this. I'm not sure, I didn't check if it was a 3 or a 4 cylinder. I know a lot of Daihatsus were running 3-cylinder engines, so whether it's a 3 or not, I can't quite tell from the sounds. Might be a 4-cylinder, but my little 3-cylinder charades are nice sounding engines. They're kind of like a mini Porsche engine. It's like half a Porsche. Let's do the slalom test through the flower pots. See if we can upset the handling slightly. Not too bad. Okay, roundabout test coming up then. Hard on the brakes. Down to second gear. See if we can spill all the shopping in the rear. Oh, hold on. Okay. Didn't tip over, that's a good thing. Let's do a quick lap around the business park here. Go this way. Doing things this little Daihatsu was not meant to do, such as handbrake turns. Right, let's go this way. Revs died, didn't change down to second early enough. Okay. One of the great things about these little Daihatsus, of course, is they have reasonably good fuel economy because they're very lightweight and they're very small capacity engines, so you can make the fuel go even further. let's pay our visit to the fuel station up here. The only way to enter the fuel station here in Live for Speed. Right. But it's quite nice. I do like it, actually. I think it's, you know, it's obviously it's not going to be everyone's first choice of car. I'm going to go sim racing today, and the first thing I'm going to do is drive a little Daihatsu microcar, because that's yeah, that's what everyone does when they turn on their sim in the morning. However, it is very good, and for what it is, and the type of car it is, very convincing. I love the body roll. You can just see the horizon moving around as you turn right and left. But yeah, that's good. So Turbo says, another cool thing is the Fend BR by Evo Drifter. Yeah, I don't think I've tried that one yet, but I shall give that a go as well. And the mod was 100% modeled from inside Live for Speed editor, I think. Oh, cool, for this one. Oh, the Fend BR, yeah. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Let's go on, sneak onto the circuit here. Not the little Daihatsu's natural habitat. But its handling is quite nice, actually. It's not too understeery. It doesn't plough on into the corners. Have to do a handicap race and see if we can put it up against something quicker and see how much of a head start it might need around a lap for West Hill. Steering wheel is, yeah, there's a little bit of movement in between, but it is what it is. It's not going to be a high-performance sports car anyway, but handling is convincing and steering feels nice as well, so cool. Yeah, it's a good little mod, that one. I like the, you can see in the mirror, actually, you got the rear window heating elements in there as well. That's quite a nice touch. I like that. Yeah, fun little thing. Alright, let's go on then. So we've done the Evo Challenger. Who was it mentioned? The Boomer 7. Let's give this a try. This is a big BMW 7 Series. I'm not sure if we've driven this one before. I think we may have driven a 7 Series in the past, but I'm not sure if it was this one or not. So we'll take a look at it. So we've got stock, we have a no number plate edition, no number plates plus tints. Okay, very sus. And then we have an FBI version which has some lights behind the grille there as well. Is that tuned by any difference? 240? No, same. Okay, well, let's take the stock one out, shall we? Let's go in the 007 grey. Oop, we're in the car track again. So is this one? I suppose in real life it was meant to be an automatic. Let's get ourselves off the kart circuit, I think. It's probably not the best place to try out this big BMW. Right. Just cut across the grass here. Yeah, lots of traction control on this one by the feel of it. Let's do the flower pot slalom test. Ooh. So you can't change the engine in different configurations? No. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Wasn't sure whether you could adjust power levels or not. We need a multi-story car park to drive this around, really, don't we? For real life testing. I love the interior, actually. It's quite nice. You've got the wooden panelling, nicely textured, lots of details in there as well with the vents and so forth. Got the indicator stalks on there. Looks very nice. So Turbo says the latest update has cruise control marker on the 80 kilometers like the real car. Oh, cool. That's nice. You have to choose a track configuration that allows pit limiter. Right, got you. It's got that nice purr from the engine. Oops. Just approach the medical center here. Let's just turn around. Go around the back of it. Oops, avoid the barriers. There we go. Let's go this way. It feels like a big heavy car, which is probably about right, because it is. I chose to go that way because I wasn't going to make the right-hander. So we're on the track now. So Tupper says, try looking where the shifter is and switch through the gears. Ooh. Let me see if I can do that with shift U. No, not that way. How do you get like a free look camera on here? I've forgotten how you do that now. I can't look down. Let's just do a quick check here. Sorry about this. Let's just see if we can do a free look. Okay. Sure how it works. If I was in VR, I'd probably have to have a look down there better, but does it check, does it go through the shifts through the individual gears, does it, and show you on the display on the bottom? That's pretty cool. Well, that's pretty good. Do like it. It's very nice. Let's go down through the gears here and give another rip down this straight. What kind of speed we're getting up to here? So that's miles an hour, 160. Change your camera with V so you'll only see wheels only, and then you can change the angle from there. Okay. I changed the angle from options, that's what you mean. Let me see it from outside, I wonder. Quite. Let's just reverse this a second. Alright. I've got a car phone in there as well, that's pretty cool. Can't quite see from there. Let's angle that down. Okay. It's not changing on there. It must be because I'm not in the car properly. Well, that's cool that you've gone for those little details and added them in there. That's pretty fun. It's a nice looking model as well. You've done a good job with that. Wheels only camera options, yep. I'll have to give that a try and work that out off stream, but no, that's neat. It's really cool. Right. Let's go forward then. What have we got? So lots of Billcross cars on here as well. There's a version of the Ray which I've not driven yet. So we've got a drag racing version of the Ray instead. We've got a turbo sticking out the bonnet and a side exit exhaust. This thing looks like it could be a little bit wild. So let's go to the drag strip and give this a try. Except we're going to have to go out of hot lap mode and go into single player race. It's the lemon there. Let's go up. Find the Ray drag. Here we go. And go to autocross drag strip. Okay, let's see what this thing's like on the drag strip. We've driven a few drag cars in Live for Speed already, but not this particular one. So let's see how this gets on Sky says, it's a manta! Yes, it is. Right, wait for the lights. Away we go. Let's see what kind of quarter-mile time we can get. Moving around a little bit. It's an 8:71. That was not a bad start. I'm sure we can go lower than that because we had a good period of time where we were on the limiter with lots of wheel spin at the start. So let's see if we can get a better launch down the strip here. Get ready to shift those gears nice and quick. It'd be bogged down a little bit, but let's see. Yeah, that was slower. 8:95. Well, we can do better than that. I'm sure we can. Let's try and get close to a 7. Turbo spooling. $8.56 again. Oof. It's a pretty quick car. I mean, to run in 8s as well is, you know, pretty impressive. I like the turbo sounds as well. That's really, really cool. You can just hear it just spooling up. And then just dumping everything, because putting a huge turbo on like that, you're going to be building up an awful lot of pressure as well and winding that up. And let's just do one more of that because that's pretty cool. Let's go again. Good thing about the lights here in Live for Speed is you can pretty much guess when they're going to go to green. You don't have to worry about any other reaction times. Yeah, it's pretty consistent. 8:59, 300 slower than we were. That's cool. I like that. I mean, the Ray 400 we've got in a couple of variants. We have a rally version, we have a touring version, and now we have a drag version, so that's pretty cool. I do like the look of it as well. It's got a bit of super modified look to it. It's not a full pro mod. It hasn't got the air scoop design on the bonnet. I don't think it'd be really nice or something like that, but it's got the chute on the back, which is nice, and some big slicks at the rear, some narrow tires at the front. But yeah, that's cool. I like that. Turbo says, what's your Live for Speed world? I can add you to a drag race car based on an in-real life project car. Ah, cool. So it's Phil205 is my Live for Speed world account. So yeah, happy to give that a test. What else have we got? There's another big BMW there. We've got the Fraud E-Wheeler. Trying to find something we've not driven yet, because there's a few which have obviously had updates done to them, which we've driven in the past. So look at these things, the THRs, little buggy things. I don't think we've driven these before. So look at this. This is a bit of a backyard creation type of thing. We've got the space frame chassis. We've got the engine out the back, filter sticking out there, inboard brakes as well, just next to the transmission there. So rather than being out in the wheels themselves, the housed much closer in. So you got the drive shafts on there. So that's a different manner of braking. What else have we got on there? A couple of turbos. We've got one turbo each side. And yeah, okay. So we've got an off-road version. We have a race version, which has slick tires and stiffer suspension. Got a big jump edition and big tarmac jumps. Okay, well, let's do the big jump setup, I think. Oops, wrong track. Let's go try this somewhere else. Where should we go? Oops. Oh, Phil. Here we go. Let's go to somewhere that has some big jumps. I think, well, let's do Blackwood Rallycross then. And we'll give this a go. Loading in now. As expected, it's got a V8 in it. And there's the turbo sounds, as you saw on the back. So let's see what this thing's like. Onto the loose surface. Got some weird force feedback going on. Almost as if it's reversed. This thing's pretty quick. Soaking up the bumps quite nicely though, as you'd expect with the longer travel on the suspension with the big jump setup option. It's kind of got an element of Baja buggy type look to it. Get it slow down. It's launched over this big jump. Uh-oh. It's too far. Oh man. Strong feedback on there. Yeah, there's something odd with that. I don't know whether it's just because of the suspension travel or something, but it's got a very snappy kind of feel to the feedback. So it kind of, you put the throttle down and you try and turn a corner and it'll pull away from you. So it's almost like it's reversed slightly, but at some point it does feel like it's the right way around. It's just, yeah, just an interesting feel to the steering on that one. Let's try one of the other ones then, because there's another one here. There's a SR2000, so this is probably a smaller engine version. That's also got a big jumps version. Let's try that. Yeah, so this one has a four-cylinder engine rather than the V8, so this should be a little bit slower. Wonder if it's got like a bike engine type layout on it. Lots of steering angle on the front wheels there. You can see them obviously through the front view. Use all that steering angle to bring it back again. Oh, too far. Not even that steering angle could help me that time. Chronic understeer turning into that. And again, the chassis is being nicely suspended as we go over the bumps by the soft shock absorbers and springs. Just makes it a little bit uncontrollable when you get onto the tarmac stuff and the power kicks in right down to turn one. Bit of a flick on the way in. Oop. Launch it this way, there we go. Ah, I didn't manage to save it. Interesting cars. They're they got their own very unique driving feeling, I think, on those things. But okay, right. Let's see what else we got then. So I've kind of gone over the classic 04 Drift here. This is looking like it's a Lada estate variant of some kind of drift car. So let's see how this thing. Oops, we're on the rallycross circuit here. Let's change our layout here. See what happens. See if this one flatters our drifting skills a little bit more. Oops, Austrian race mode, aren't we? That's why it's giving me a jump start penalty. Considerably beefier sounding engine than you would normally expect to find in a similar standard car. Right, let's get ourselves clear of all other objects and we'll give this a try and see what the driving dynamics are like. You can get into some pretty crazy angles. Just flick it back this way. Oh, too far. Too far. I was trying to go in there in 4th gear though, that may have been the issue. That was nice into there. Oops, there's no road that way. Let's cut across the grass, right? Avoid the bins. A little bit easier to handle this one. As he slides almost into a telephone box. Right. That's pretty fun. Quite like that. So just fast forward to some of that where we actually have it under control and see what it looks like from the outside. But yeah, it's quite a cool looking thing. Obviously it's got loads of camber going on as well. Slammed to the weeds. This is where it hooked up nicely through here. Go across the grass. Do-do-do. Yeah, so a car that can make even a very poor to average drifter like me look like I can handle something is all good in my books. And some reasonable angles there. Very good. It's fun, that. Enjoy that one. Right, let's see what else we can find. So, Turbo says, whenever you can. So you've added sort of give it a refresh. Give it a refresh now. Let's go back up to the top. What's it called, Turbo? And I'll check it out. We've got so many other cars. There's loads of stuff on here we can go through, obviously, but let's see if we can do this one here with Turbo. He's got a drag racer for us to check out. This is a rat-style version of the beta, so this is the old Alfa Romeo Giulia 65, but in a rather sorry-looking state there. Looking forward to giving perhaps the Marugan Cup a go and the tiny Coupe S as well. There's so many cool-looking cars. There's such variety, which I really love about Need for Speed. It's so good. And something else I just spotted as well, which we need to test out. It should be a bit of fun. So let's have a look. What's the another refresh just in case it's something I've missed. If I put Turbo in here. No, it's not that one. At least I hope it isn't. Tweet mods as well. Can I come under that? No. Ribata, okay. Oh, it is this one. Okay. Right. So there's a drag variant of this one. Okay. An unusual drag racing version of a front-wheel drive car is quite impressive, actually. Some of the really highly tuned drag racers, which are front-wheel drive, just because it's a very different concept to what you would normally have. Obviously, drag racing, you want a really good launch, and doing a rear-wheel drive car is the best way of getting the launch and get the power, and that obviously makes the car squat on launch, and then that gets the power down easier, and you can pull away. But front-wheel drive cars have a little bit of a problem getting off the line, so let's see what this thing is like. Wait for the Christmas tree to count down. That wasn't the greatest launch. Let's try that again. Need to do some better clutch slippage. Trail of smoke behind us. Now we're picking up some steam. And 11:47. That's got some crazy feedback as well. Let's try that again. Let's do one more run and see if we can beat. Where are we? Start race. Let's get my wheel in the right place. Right, it's uncentered itself. Let me just do a quick adjustment here on my. There we go. That should. No, that's fine. Let's go back to start race and let's see if it's in the right place. There we go. It's happy now. Right. Full beans off the line. Let's see what happens. Oh, 11:68 again there. There we go. Revit says so. Yeah, that's it needs it. Real car does 10s. Okay. I'm a little way off there then. Definitely an art to getting those things off the line, I would say. Right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, so let's do. Well, let's try the Fen BR because that's one of the new authorized mods as well. So this is based on a Ford. A Bronco, I think it is, isn't it? The actual real-life version of this car. So we got an all-terrain version, an off-road one with some surfboards attached to the top and some bush cutting wires or bush deflectors, and a winch on the front as well. Ready for some off-roading adventures. Now we have a roof-off version and a doors-off version for when you go through lots of water and you want it to just wash off. Let's try the off-road version, shall we? And we'll go. Where should we go? Somewhere that has some off-road, presumably would be better. Let's go to the Fern Bay location. We'll go find some off-road bits to go drive this thing on. Lauren, welcome, Lauren. Good to see you. Welcome along to Simracing Bible. So Sky says, no matter how fast your car is, there's always a faster Civic. Yes, there's always someone out there with a mad Civic. So two-door version is actually coming too. Okay, that'd be cool. Laurent says Civics are for streets, no drag. Front-wheel drive dragging isn't ununderstandable. Yeah, it's definitely not the chosen drivetrain version for drag racing, but people still make drag-specific versions, and yeah, some of them are very, very quick. Alright, so let's have a look at this Fend BR then. This is really nice looking in the interior. You have a GPS screen thing in the middle here. We've got some nice buttons and dials and all sorts of details. The steering wheel is really nice as well. You've got some carbon fibre detailing on there with various buttons for cruise control and limiters and radio controls, all sorts of stuff. That's pretty cool. Looks very nice. And again, you can see through the rear window with the with the heated screens on there. Ah, of course, with modern day off-roaders, they're automatic. These are all the electronics, which does all the off-road capabilities. Ooh. Bit of body roll. Let's turn that feedback down ever so slightly. So we're here on the road, which is not really what this thing's made for. Let's just try out some rather solid scenery. Let's try again. Maybe that wasn't the grass to choose to drive on. So this should be fairly well sorted when it comes to off-road stuff, so should be quite happy to drive around on the grass. Shouldn't get stuck in the gravel either, so that's something else to try. With its big knobbly tyres. We'll go locate the rallycross circuit and put it through its paces there. It sounds kind of 6-cylinder-ish on the engine tone. There's some body roll going on as well. Got a lot of body roll. Ooh. Right, let's turn it through here, and then we can double back ourselves and go and find the off-road track. Somewhere down here. Here it is. Stop. Stop. A lot of car to try and slow down. We missed our turning. Luckily we can find another way in, so we'll go this way. Well, that wasn't the kind of off-roading I was expecting. Let's try again. Oh, I still got the false start. Right, let's go this way this time. That's probably my own fault for tipping over then with turning in with such a high off the ground big suspension travel vehicle. Didn't like that kind of treatment. Okay, got a bit of a jump there. Let's soak that up quite nicely. We'll say that the GPS isn't moving. I'm most disappointed. No. The off-road version cannot do corners, seemingly. Not at any kind of speed, anyway. We still got to find some actual off-road to test it on. That's the main reason for this. So let's just load a different layout, give ourselves half a chance here. So we'll do the Rallycross open world version, and try that. Right, this time we can go left, and then we can get ourselves onto the... This is a simple job, Phil. All you need to do is just get yourself from the start line to the dirt, and that's all that's required. But it's making it look particularly difficult right now. Right, come on the brakes nice and early. This isn't a GT car that you're driving here, Phil. Let's remember that. Right. A little bit closer to some dirt. Here we are. Right. Into the hairpin section here. Ooh, don't get too close to that bank on the inside. Don't need any extra additional help to turn the thing over. Alright, into the quick section now. See how it handles these bumps. Like they're nothing. Soak those up, no problem. Back on the tarmac where there's more grip and too much grip. Alright, well let's obviously having all that weight on there with those surfboards, it must be really heavy. So let's take some weight off it and see what happens. Get a good view of the track alongside us. It seems wrong having this really flash interior and then just taking the doors off. Well, it seems to be a little less prone to tipping over. Still wants to try though. I was encouraging it a little bit there, we'll be honest. Turn in. Alright. Well, it's a little bit more sorted for driving purposes, but that's quite a nicely done mod. I know I made a bit of a mess of that, but the actual detailing of the model itself and the effort's gone to recreate this particular type of car in Live for Speed is good, and yeah, good quality. And as you say, if that was made fully in the Live for Speed editor, then that's very impressive. So yeah, very cool indeed. Okay, and let's see what else we can find. It's okay, because we had no problem handling the Fend BR. Let's let's try out the penny farthing. So let's, yep, driver's sat in the right place. Very good. Okay. Let's give ourselves half a chance of surviving. Go to Blackwood again. And yeah. Now, let's be honest, that the penny farthing is not it's not known as being the easiest of bicycles to ride. And the fact that he's able to stand there like that is, got an insane amount of balance. It's really very impressive. Right, let's see what happens when we start to move. A little bit of tipping. Not pedaling though. Now you can ride these bikes, and there are actually penny farthing races that occur around the country. Just pure lunacy, but I wouldn't fancy falling off one there. I'm rather high up. Ooh, going uphill, has to pedal a bit harder. But we are doing 34 miles per hour on our penny farthing. Let's see what it can do, corners or not. Turn. Okay, that's not bad. His balance skills are working very well indeed. Let's see what happens when we try and put a bit more steering input in. Ooh. There we go. Driver's eaten tarmac. He didn't like the curbs very much. Let's try again. Let's try and do that from onboard this time. We have the false start bug again, even though we're in hot lapping mode. Alright. So now we have the rider's eye view riding the penny farthing. Let's see if we can get through the first few corners without falling off. We'll admit it's got a very electric sounding noise to it, which I didn't think they had in real life, but it's all good. Oh, we've got some bouncing going on. Right. Turn. Some good lean angle for those skinny tyres. Right, this is where we fell off last time. Let's keep off the curbs. We might survive. Okay, we're good. Right, high speed test time. Down the back straight here. Let's change our views so we can get the speed up to 44 miles per hour. 45. Scary kind of velocities driving this thing. A bit of downhill here, we might pick up a bit more speed. Let's see. Yep, there we go. 47. Back down to 46. The change in incline hitting us hard. almost as hard as going face first into the tarmac when you fall off. Luckily he's wearing a helmet, because it's a wise thing to do when you're riding a penny farthing, is to make sure you're protected in case you fall off, because you will fall off at some point. We're slowing down though, 44 miles per hour, we're going uphill. Right, see if we can take this next one flat out, see what happens. Ooh, got the wobbles on. Oh! Oh, you high-sided a penny farthing. Okay, let's try something here. Let's go back out of there a second. Go back into hot lapping. Let's see, what have I got that might be... I'm just trying to find out if I have a layout which might be fun. Was it there or was it Aston? I think there was an Aston one, wasn't there? Let's here we go. Let's try this one. Let's see if the penny farthing can survive the soapbox track layout. Okay, here we go. Engage first gear, and off we go down the hill. We know it's got no suspension, so it can get the bounces on. So take some tyres with us. Oh, we fell through the floor as well. That's one less penny farthing in the world. Let's try again. Okay, nice and easy, I think, off the top is the strategy here. Let's try and prevent it from having an initial bounce. There we go. Keep control of it. Oh no! The ridge has got it. The little joins in the road. Okay. We might have to apply some brakes on the way down just to make sure we're not hitting those bumps too hard. Okay. The challenge is to get to the bottom of the hill without falling off. Let's see if we can do it. Fallen at the first hurdle. Try again. Okay, try and do this without having any steering lock on at all when we hit the bumps. Okay, slow it down. I don't think the brakes do anything. Let's just check if the brakes actually work. We're going to start off here. Does it stop it? Okay, it does. All right. Just going to have to keep the brakes on all the way down, I think, just to stop it from running away. Easy does it. Easy does it. Right, here's the first big join that we need to hit head on. Oh! It's just not gonna happen. We just pulled a wheelie with our penny farthing. Okay, let's try one other layout, which might be fun. Let's go. Where is it? This one. Let's try this one. This is the double backflip edition, but it also has a downhill section. So let's see if this one has some cleaner joins, which aren't going to upset the balance of our penny farthing. It looks like a bit of a... Oh no, someone put a ridge right in the firing line as soon as we get onto it. Okay, come on. We can do this. Just take it nice and easy over this first bit, then let's see if we can get ourselves down the hill. Right, here we go. Nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. Okay, here's the ramp now. No, this is not going to happen. Oh. Okay, that's enough of that. But again, shows you the capabilities of what is possible in Live for Speed. That you can model a penny farthing. Right, well, let's just have a little look around and see what else we can find. Then there's a few other cars here. Obviously, there's the Saliva 15, which I shall get back to in a bit because we've done a few drift cars just recently. So let's try some of these other cars out. What is this? This is the J Road 68, which is it's kind of like a rally car of some form. I'm trying to figure out what it's based on. I'm thinking some kind of... Is it like a Honda? It's kind of got Honda Prelude original Honda Prelude type look to the front end of it, but not sure what it is. But it's got a cool looking 80s style car. Let's see, we've got some color options for this one. No, all the same. Okay, well, let's drive this one. See how this. Oh no, not here. Let's clear that layout, shall we? Let's go back to West Hill. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Again, this has got an inverted feel to the force feedback as well. Yeah, so it's pulling in the opposite direction. I don't know if I can change that on the fly. I don't know if I can invert feedback. Brake axis, force turn, feedback, steps, rate, remove dead zones. No, so I can't invert it anyway. So obviously this one's had a proper interior model to it, so you've got like an old CD radio there. It's got a tape deck as well. Proper 80s vibes to it. Okay, that one feels a bit broken in a way. Not only is the force feedback pulling in the opposite direction, the rear end is really loose as well. Yeah, so that's undrivable. Okay, let's try again. Let's find something else. Alright, where are we? Here. Some more drag racing stuff here. We've got a Corvette. And look at this this E36 here with a proper super touring style livery on it. That looks cool. There's been a lot of excitement in Assetto Corsa world with the release of some super touring cars. So let's see what this BMW E36 is like. Again, this has got an E36 style interior. Down through the gears, lots of transmission whine you can hear on the car. Downhill braking, get on the brakes, turn it in. So this, I'm thinking, is probably around like a 96, 97 sort of vintage Super Tourer. Pretty much at the height of that particular era of touring car racing, where you've got manufacturers all involved and a lot of them spending a lot of their money on development of these cars to make them as quick as possible, and there was some really high action racing going on in the likes of British touring cars and European touring car championships as well, so lots of people hark back to that kind of era of being some of the golden years of touring car racing, and it's easy to see why. Get it start. Of course, BMW being one of the only rear-wheel drive touring cars at the time. And then Audi came in with their A4 and blew everyone away with their four-wheel drive quattro system. The rest of them running a front-wheel drive setup, so like Honda, Volvo, Vauxhall, all that kind of stuff. So a bit of variety of car on track, which is always fun. But this, oops, too busy looking at the rearview mirror rather than where I was going. But this particular car feels quite well sorted. There's no real oversteery moments to contend with. course, when you put it on the grass, it might have a bit of a slide like that, but that was mostly driver-induced, to be honest. Okay, up to turn 1. Down a gear. Turn it in. A little bit of correction on the exit, not too bad. Straight line brake into the outside and then turn it in. All over the curbs on the inside there. And bring it out to the left before we cut across to the right. Nice and smooth on the inputs. Yeah, it probably feels... I know these Super Tourers do have a lot of grip, but they did move around a little bit more than perhaps I'm feeling. Let's turn the force speed back up a little bit as well. But yeah, it's not too bad actually. I suppose when you start pushing on a little bit more, you will feel it moving around a bit more, but it definitely feels like there's quite a lot of grip going on through the corners, which is quite confidence-inspiring as well, to be honest. The Sky says the mod maker even got the PI dash right. Yeah, yes, a good point. I can only see the top of that with my actual steering wheel here, but yeah, old school dash, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the rest is road car interior. Yeah, the Super Tourers perhaps maybe not using too much of the road car interior. I think the dashboards remain mostly the same, but they may not have left things such as the the radio, etc. That would have been changed out, but no, that's pretty cool. Like that. Good job on the livery as well. It looks very cool too. Proper Schnitzer style white with the checkered flag design over the rear. The model looks good too, actually. I mean, I think I've mentioned a few times in the past about how I've struggled to find a reasonably modelled E36. Most of the time the front end is either too square or too rounded, but this one actually, the front end of the E36 looks pretty good. It's for whatever reason, it's always been a very difficult thing to get right in terms of car mods and things. So that's good to see. And then the proper Super Touring rear spoiler as well is a nice touch on that one. So yeah, cool car. I like that one. All right. What else we got? That is the Flatty Model 8. Okay. You have to give that a go, I think. Cross-textured tire angles. Okay. This is like an old rat rod, exposed engine, and lots of rusty body panels. Open wheels. We have a road version, a race version with a chopped roof, and lowered suspension, and a slammy, which is like really dropped as far as it can possibly go. Well, let's go for a cruise in the slammy, shall we? All right. Oh, look at that. He's even got his hands up on a cruising style position.
Cheers, Phil.
Ah, Frank. Thank you very much for the €6. That's very, very kind of you. Cheers to you too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I hope you are enjoying what you're seeing and having a laugh as well. At my expense most of the time, I think, because of my driving. But thank you very much, Frank. That's very, very much appreciated for the super chat. So obviously this car is not meant for handling. It's kind of just for cruising around on Florida or California roads, just by the beach or somewhere probably, I can imagine. Which you could probably also imagine by the look of the thing, it's rusted to death, but yeah, not really meant for for being a racing car, more for cruising around. But let's see what it can do in terms of handling through the corners, which is not what it's designed for. Even so, doesn't do too badly. I know we went in there in quite a high gear, but we survived. We got the other side reasonably well. Okay, let's see what it's like through the twisty stuff here. Big V8 powering us through. Big wooden steering wheel in front of us as well, which is cool. I like that the driver's permanently got his hand on the gear stick. He doesn't even bother taking it off, even when he's trying to... Oop, only 4 gears. Even when he's trying to apply the opposite lock, it's just all one-handed. Oh no, he does put his hand back on the wheel. Hang on. When does that happen then? So, that's cool. So it actually moves when the wheel gets turned to a certain point. It goes back on the steering wheel. That's quite impressive, because I don't... this is probably something I should know, but I don't think the hand moves when you change gear. If it's an H-pattern gearbox car, I don't think the hand comes off to shift, but the fact that they managed to animate it so that it's kind of on the shifter and then moves back to the wheel when you actually have to apply some steering lock, that's quite clever. That's well thought out, actually. Take a look. Actually, let's carry on. Let's take a look from the outside. Look at this. The old Ford T-bucket design. Florida plates on the back, of course. The kind of thing you'd see turning up at hot rod events around the country. That's oop, there's a wall. That's cool. I like that. Very nice indeed. Right, moving on. What else have we got? So I think we've tried that BMW Eurofighter car before now. All right. Well, let's test out this. This is the Voluta V8. I'm trying to remember what this thing is based on. I know it's based on a real car. I can't remember the name of it though. It's escaped me at the moment. But it's a very unusual looking thing. I think it's Soviet built from memory. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the front end of it, okay. You can kind of see what they're doing design wise. And then, you know, you've got the nice chrome details down the side, very 60s styling, you know, American 60s styling. And then you get around the back, and it looks like you've gone full max power mode and just put some enormous cans on the back of it. Look at those. Got like Rover P6, P5 rear lights to it, and then these afterburners stuck on the rear end. A very unusual looking car. Ooh, the yellow's nice. Look at that. What else we got? Ooh, that looks just very, very mafia-ish, doesn't it? Lime green with a black bonnet. Ooh, classy. We've even got mustard-coloured rims to go along with the body, or red with mustard rims. All right. Well, I'm actually going to go with this. This beautiful yellow design, actually. So we've also got a... Oh, look, we've got a race number plate option as well. Cool. Let's give that a go. A Slovak Tatra. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for the reminder there. Yes, a Tatra. That's right. I don't know. I mean, what happened? I mean, you look at it from there and you think, oh, yeah, okay. You can kind of see what they're doing, but the rear end just makes no sense. I think, from memory, is this two-stroke as well? I know some of these cars, or similar cars to this, are two-stroke engines as well. Okay, well, before we get going, let's have an appreciation of the interior of this car as well, because that does look really cool. I like the texturing on the dashboard, and you've got some vents sticking up on there as well. It's got a roll cage as well. You can even see the cable tie holding the roll cage padding in place where your helmet would be. Okay, so the fact that it's got a roll cage in it Is that because we switched to the number plate version? Right. Let's see. I like the horizontal speedometer in front of us there as well. That's pretty neat. Well, this doesn't sound two-stroke, so maybe it's the enormous exhausts giving that nice bellowy sound. What's this thing like through the corners then? This kind of says James Bond's submarine car. Yeah. You probably could be forgiven for thinking there's some props hidden behind those huge exhausts. Ooh. There's a downshift on the exit, ran out of revs. Right, this time we're going to go through the national version of West Hill here. Let's go this way for a change. See what the elevation changes do for the handling of this car. It's possible that it's quite rear end heavy. So some corners might just make it come unstuck, but let's see what happens here as you come downhill slightly, and then we know that rear engine cars don't particularly like coming downhill very often, as we found out with the Copa Fusca and AMS2. But let's see what happens with this thing. Love this bit of track. Let's get it turned into the apex there. Ooh, almost felt like we had a bit of inside wheel lift. I'm going to have to watch the replay and see if that actually did work then. Into the chicane. Chuck it in. I like the chrome mirrors on the wings there as well. Well, they're actually called wing mirrors, which is very typical of this kind of vintage of vehicle. Everything was all in order, and then all of a sudden things got a little bit more in desperate need of opposite lock correction. Okay, well, that's quite a cool car actually. It sounds quite nice. It sounds like it's got a V8 in it. Handling wise, it's kind of unique, but you know, it's not wrong in terms of how it feels. You can apply some opposite lock and deal with the slides through the corners, so that's fine. Might be a fun car to race online actually, have a full grid of these. That would be quite amusing, I think. To see who was the first person to end up running up someone else's exhausts and getting lost. Oh no! Speaking of lost, we've lost it. Alright, let's check out the replay and see if that wheel did indeed lift. Let's go through here. It's a big old car to be going sideways. Right, so I think, where was it that we had the wheel lift? I think it was on this this next hairpin left. Let's see if it does that. Here we go. Getting it slowed down. Turn it in. Oh no, it was this corner, wasn't it? That's the one. We're on the wrong side there. Let's change the camera angle there. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, let's go over here and watch it from this side as we come through there. Let's just zoom out and put the time wedge back. Let's go this way. Let's look for some wheel lifts. Kind of hard to tell there, but it would have been close to lifting off, I think. have that kind of feeling of things going light on the front end, but it's a fun little thing, that. So Greg says, theoretically, such exhaust pipes are only close to engine, but never on end of exhaust. Okay. Yeah, that's... they are enormous. So Igor, welcome Igor, says, quote from Martin about the Voluta Tatra. Those aren't exhaust pipes, but part of an injector cooling system which creates negative pressure, making the cooling air flow faster. Okay, well, there we go then. Let's explain that. Thank you, Igor. So that means then, is there some other exhaust elsewhere? Or side pipes? So for cooling airflow faster, yeah, that might be what's an interesting idea. But yeah, very interesting mod, that one. And again shows the variety of liver speed. Right, lots more Billcross style cars. Okay, well let's change things up here. We got a skateboard. So we got, what have we got? Skate and Destroy, 1980s design. Okay, this one's got some textured grip on it, and that one's more of a, it's got a graphic underneath. Then maybe, is it? Oops. Oh, it's just on the main part of the deck there. Right. Okay. Well, let's try this out. What the color changes do? There's just the wheels by those things. Okay. Well, let's stick with the white and red then. Let's Oh, okay. This is a bit different. So there's no one riding it, which is a shame. It's quite a large skateboard as well. Actually, it's probably similar size and wheelbase to the Daihatsu thing we drove earlier. Gets up to 45 miles per hour. Self-propelled skateboard. Handling's a bit mad. Lots of steering angle, and very willing to go sideways as well. Drifting a skateboard, who would have thought? Let's do some grinds on these curves and see if it works. Come on, let's get on the curb there. Ooh. Let's try and ollie it off this curb. Here we go. It's the only way we're going to get it to jump. Ooh, no, it's just going to slam straight into it. Oh dear. Right, okay. Well, in that case, let's put this one through its paces at the Aston soapbox run. Let's get this down the hill. All vehicles like this require a run down the hill, so let's do it. See if this can handle the bumps. Ooh, a little bit of a wheelie there. Ooh. Okay. Well, we sort of survived. Let's try and do it without hitting anything, shall we? Let's do that. Just when the speed picks up and you've got to make those tiny adjustments, you just need to be super delicate with it. There we go, that's better. And we're down. And a quick change of angle there as we go fakey instead of regular, I think that was the term. Alright, so there we go. We have a skateboard in for speed. I think it needs shrinking and maybe a driver standing on top of it, and then it would look more like it should do, I suppose. But yeah, it's good. Right, let's test this out then. Let's go to this one here, which is a Formula Fraud. Because iRacing have recently teased that they're bringing a Formula Fraud to the service, and here we have something that looks very similar to the render actually for the iRacing version in this grey. We have a couple of versions here, so we have base 1, base 2, different ride heights by the looks of things going on there. Some camera angle changes on the front. So we'll try that one. Let's go with a nice red Formula Ford. This is a nice looking model. It looks very similar to a Van Diemen Formula Ford as you would expect to see in various club level Formula Ford competitions around the UK and around the world as well. Very popular type of car to race, these ones. A lot of drivers started off in Formula Ford. Craig, this is talking about the Tatra again. This is the Fart Camel Tatra. You just push a button and it just emits this sound. Skoda still reckons it's a propulsion system. Yep. Engage the afterburners and off you go. So the thing with Formula Ford cars, usually they're 1600 Ford engines, either Kent or Zetec engines that they were using in Formula Ford. Start off with the Crossflows or the Kent engines, and then Zetecs came in a bit later on. Then that developed into Duratec motors, but this should probably be a Zetec, I think. And obviously, no wings, no slick tyres, running on treaded tyres. So they do tend to move around a little bit. Through the chicane we go. And because there's no rear wings, or front wings, that means there's no air disturbance, well, very little air disturbance from the car, which means that cars behind can follow quite closely, which gives quite good racing. So you'll regularly find a Formula Ford race to be really quite well contested if all the drivers are on a similar level of ability. There's lots of slipstreaming battles and all sorts in Formula Ford. But this one definitely feels like it's got a little bit of movement in it, so when you're going through the corners it does move around. It's not stuck to the ground, as a lot of modern single-seaters tend to do. Let's go on a slightly different lap of Aston here. We'll go left on the end. Quite long geared as well, then you just got up into 4th gear. Into the chicane. See what it's like up this hill. Whoop. Gently on the throttle to bring it back onto the track. Right, okay, we're good. So these cars are very good as, I guess, an initial rung on the motor racing ladder, because they teach drivers an awful lot about car control and racecraft as well. So very much adored by a lot of drivers who went through the Formula Ford route. The only problem with them, of course, is the fact that the wheels are very much out on their own. So you have the central body of the car, and then you have all 4 wheels stuck out on the end of some very precarious looking suspension. So should you get too close to another car or tyre stack somewhere on a track, then there is every possibility you will rip a corner off, and it's a good couple of grand per corner, so you don't want to be doing that too often. So you also need to be quite restrained racing these things, so that you can keep them in one piece and save your wallet from having an absolute battering. Through the sweeping bends here at Aston. It's quite nice. You can see there's a few little corrections going on the steering wheel, nothing too major, but enough to know you're on the limit of driving, and you can just kind of feel your way through the corners. Got our Avon treaded tyres on here. Coming up towards the hairpin down here, so we'll get on the brakes as soon as we get around this left-hander. We could have broken a bit later than that, but it's okay. I did kind of insinuate that we were going to have a bit of a slide there because I chucked it into the corner, which is not really the the plan of action for these particular cars. Leave in third gear, maybe. No, second gear for the final chicane. Whoops. Oh, nearly ripped that corner off. We're good. Yeah, so this is, you know, quite nicely handling of a car. You've got a good cockpit here with the dash in front of you. You can tell there's some fiberglass texturing on the inside of the bodywork there. But yeah, it drives nicely. It's got quite positive steering. It's quite direct steering as well, so you have to be quite careful with your inputs. You can't be too rash with too quick a steering movement because that'll just unsettle the car. But feels nice. It drives well. It's pretty good. Right, let's carry on then. Let's see what else we've got. Let's go down the list. I'll find something else we've not yet driven on stream. I don't think we've covered the McLaren yet. I think that's another one of the approved mods. But this is obviously a McLaren F1, so let's add some colour to it so we can see the model a bit better. So there we go. So the McLaren F1 is one of the ultimate supercars for a lot of people. I think for a long time this was held as being the fastest supercar in the world, and it was only really, I think, usurped by the Bugatti Veyron. But up until then, no one else really had gone any quicker than McLaren F1. One of Gordon Murray's finest designs. Central driving position as well, of course, with 3 seats. I've got 2 behind you as well. But a 230 mile an hour road car from a V12 BMW engine in the back. And got a simple basic design, but it's simple and elegant at the same time. So that's pretty cool. So let's give this a drive on track here. Interior is nice on this one as well. I like the carbon fibre texturing on the dash and the buttons and things. Of course, being a central driving position, you have a really equal view of the road ahead of you, and you can see exactly where each of the corners are. So, oops, it's a third gear start. Let's go from first gear. H-pattern gearbox, of course. Hey, Just Ruby, welcome. Good to see you. So this is a car which has been approved as well from Live for Speed, so this is an approved mod. As you expect, rather quick in a straight line. Too quick for that corner. Right, let's get this back into control again. This time we'll go right here. Check it through there. Oh dear. I think we just Rowan Atkinson. He rather famously had an off in this particular type of car. Rather expensive one as well, I believe. Hey Elvis, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome along to the stream. Okay, so we got Speedo on the right hand side there. I'm not quite sure if that's correct in its speed. Let's just check the Speedo on the outside here and just see what we're getting up to on the straight, because it didn't look like we were showing that high of a speed, but we were certainly going along at quite a rate of knots. So let's it's so weird driving from the outside view. Get on track. Right, let's get back to the straight. Just give myself half a chance and just go back on board, and then we'll go find that straight and see what the speedometer's saying for our top speed. How are we doing? I'm doing good, thanks, Elvis. Let's oops. Okay, just completely reset, shall we? Let's go back to the start. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. Doing very well. Okay, let's get back out. Okay, so we're approaching apparently 160 miles an hour, maybe? Maybe it is. Okay, what we need to do then, we need to test this, don't we? So in order to do that correctly, we're going to go to the layout square, long grid. Not one you've seen me drive before, but this is like a test pad thing for cars. So we basically have an endless road. So let's test the straight line capabilities of this McLaren and see what we can do. So Elvis says, I decided to download Race 07 today because of my potato PC, and does playing time attacks at first instead of laps make me a noob? No, it doesn't. Well, first of all, Race 07, I can fully approve of you downloading that. It's a good sim. I enjoyed many hours driving Race 07. I'd advise getting Live for Speed as well. If you've got a potato PC, this will run really well. But yeah, time attacks there's nothing wrong with doing time attacks first. You can build yourself up, get yourself used to driving the cars, get used to the handling, the physics, improve your speed, and then you can add other cars into the mix as well. So don't ever feel like you're a noob, okay? Because everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone has, at some point in their time of sim racing, had a first go and maybe been particularly rubbish or not gone on very well. So don't ever feel like you have to apologize or feel bad for being a noob or a new driver or whatever. All that matters is that you're enjoying it and you have fun. That's the main thing. Right, let's test this McLaren out in a straight line, see what kind of top speed we can get out of it. I want to see the needle get towards that 240 mark on the speedo. See if we can do it. See, that to me feels like we're going an awful lot faster than 160 miles an hour. Sixth gear. There's 200. It keeps going. What's the other speedo saying? Yeah, we're over 200 there. It's flying along. So we're maxed out there, probably about... Oh, on the brakes. Disengage this force feedback before it rips my arms off. So yeah, that was running probably about 225 or so. I don't know, this didn't feel like I was doing... When it was showing 160, it felt like I was doing an awful lot more than that. Yeah. So Igor says, I have to say for the McLaren WR, they removed redline. URC1 have stock redline 7.5. Okay, well, let's go back to the pits here a second. For McLaren WR. Is that another one that's on here somewhere? Or is it a different one? But yeah, that was it was pretty quick. Once it got up there, it felt like you were going really fast, but it just seemed like the numbers didn't relate to the actual speed you were doing. Kind of strange, but it's quite a good straight line test, that particular layout there. Okay, let's try this one. This one is the Blimey Blower, which is basically a Bentley blower, an old 30s car with its screw-type supercharger. Huge capacity engine, I think. What's it saying on here? Has it got 4.4 litre? Used to race these at Brooklands on the oval with the really rough concreted surface that they used to take off at some points. Let's give this a try. And it's beautiful British racing green. Let's try and go somewhere other than just a straight line. Let's go somewhere else. Where should we go with this one? Let's go to Rockingham, somewhere British. We'll just open it up there. There we go. Oh, the world record. Okay. Oh, right. I see what you mean. So in the real life ones, they removed the... Yeah, so they had no red line, so they just revved right up. Okay, so maybe the real world one doesn't quite get up to that that kind of speed. Probably a wise idea, actually. So Elvis says, one question related to Race 07. Do I need to enable VSync, or will the game handle hyper high FPS just fine? So I don't know if there's a way specifically of limiting the frames per second in Race 07. I can't remember offhand whether you can set it to 60 frames or whatever you need it to set to. But by putting VSync on there, it will limit it to whatever the refresh rate of your monitors are. So if it's running at 60 frames on your monitors and you put VSync on, it will put it to 60 frames. That means it's not producing or not overstretching itself in terms of its performance or wasting processing power to give you frames where you maybe not necessarily needing it. But one thing to bear in mind is that the VSync will give you potentially a little bit of input lag as well, but try it out, see what you can do. But if there's a way of limiting the frames in game as well, other than using VSync, then do that. But if it is running high FPS, then it's not maybe going to give you a massive benefit, but it'll be fine. So Ravas also said I had Racer 7 already because it was given away for free at one point, so I decided to start with that since I had it laying around already. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Hey Edwards, welcome. Good to see you. So Elvis says, I just want to avoid the physics to die. I don't want the physics to go all Skyrim. Okay, I got you. No, you should be okay. You'll be right. Okay, well we're sat pretty low in this Bentley. Big corded steering wheel in front of us there. Very old-fashioned. I've got the nice aluminium dashboard in front of us there with the dials added into it. The central driving mirror there. Ooh, that's not going to get stopped. So, big old-fashioned 30s car. Perhaps not the most incredible handling in terms of through the corners, but they are quite well sorted, the Bentley blowers, for their year and up against whatever else was available at the time. These particular cars were considered some of the best available to drive and race at the time, so very much cream of the crop from its era. Some feedback going on as we get through the final corner on the oval. Let's this time try and get into the inside and try some regular corners. Right, get on the brakes nice and early, Phil. Slow down. Okay, we're good. Oh, some heavy steering on that one. Let's just turn that down ever so slightly, coming up towards this right-hander. Can't see where I'm going, but I'm sure there's a corner here somewhere. Here it is. Let's turn it in. And then, again, guessing the turning point for the next right-hander, which should be about there. I'm going to try and avoid the braille driving technique with this particular car, if I can. Through the series of seemingly never-ending left-hand bends in the middle of the circuit here. So of course, really skinny tyres, so there's not an awful lot of tyre grip, so we are going to get some sideways action. Let's get it through tyres and hairpin. The brakes are typically 1930, so they're not amazing. Can't leave it too late with the braking in this thing. Right, somewhere along here is a chicane. Here it is. Feeding it through there. I like the fact that the hands are kind of feeding slightly as well, so you get to a point, obviously it's letting the wheel slip through its hands slightly, and with such a huge steering wheel like this, you can't necessarily keep your hands in the same place all the time because they do require quite a lot of steering lock to get through the corner, so it's good to see that the hands are actually letting the wheel feed through them, which is really cool. That's quite impressive, actually. That's awesome. Elva says, just I'm the type who just wants to drive a couple of laps here or there and pop a cool drift entrance on time attacks. Not a full-on hardcore sim racer. Yeah, well, that's fine. It's all good. I mean, we all have the things that we like to do, and if you have a few spare minutes and you want to jump on 10 some laps by yourself, absolutely nothing wrong with that. I've had years of competing properly with sim racing and years where I've just not been interested in it and just just wanted to pick it up casually, play it offline, and just drive around, have some fun, and enjoy sampling the delights of various sim racing content. And yeah, you can enjoy both, but it's what you like doing best, which is the key thing to remember. You just got to do what you like. So if you enjoy doing that kind of thing, you go ahead and do it, because I'm all for it. Right, let's go back inside here and get this thing through some corners again, rather than just the oval. The brakes are so bad. Hey Nico R, welcome, good to see you. Welcome along to the stream. So despite the fact that this is a very, very old car, you can still get it sideways and still recover the slides as well, which is nice. Because really with these particular types of tyres that you have on these cars, they do require an element of slip to get the best out of them and get the car through the corner in the best possible way. So the slip angles are such that you do need to apply a little bit of opposite lock, but that was perhaps a little bit too much. Again, on the brakes, trying to get it slowed down. If I could see where I was going a bit more, it'd be alright. But yeah, that's pretty fun. I like that. Okay, and it's a nice looking model as well. I mean, you can definitely tell exactly what it is from the offset, and it's, yeah, very nicely done. Very refined and old school type car, which I love. Right, let's carry on then. Let's see if there's any other ones which we need to show you, or fancy driving. The dice, don't quite remember why that's there. Right, well, let's go back, because we did say we were going to drive this one, which was the cover image for the video today. So we're going to give this a go, and we'll try do a bit more drifting. Well, it says Racer 7 earns my respect with having a built-in larder as a Slav. I appreciate that Slavic touch. Oh, cool. Yes, and Race Room has larders as well, so it's good. Right. S14? Or is it S15? I think it's S15. But obviously with some drifting modifications made to it, so we have some big steering angle. This one's actually quite a nicely balanced drift car as well. Get some big angles going on. That one was too big of an angle, but we can still just about pull it back. Greg said, well, sorry for dice, I left it there. Oh, it's fine. Oops. I didn't quite get a plan through there. The Rockingham circuit does lend itself quite nicely to drifting. Some nice long corners which you can balance the car through. Oh. Just when you thought you had it back under control, you... Okay, let's get it back under control, Phil. Come on. Stop sliding for a moment. You know, sometimes when you get them just right, it's so satisfying. I mean, I know drifting is not for everybody, it's not everyone's favourite thing, but as a skill to learn, it's tricky, but it's also very satisfying at the same time. That was either a bit of luck or a bit of skill to thread it through that gate like that. Just happened to work out that way. Oops, not quite. Tyres are probably complaining bitterly at me right now. Overcooked it. But that's really fun, that one. It's a nice car to drift around and just... That's the wrong part to go into when I'm all over the place. Let's go back a little bit. Watch it through this final chicane and see how we go. But yeah, again, this is a nice looking model as well. Nice details to it. I just love how you can just hold it on a certain angle and just play with the throttle. And I think, I know we've mentioned in the past, but I think for its age, the tyre model on Live for Speed is so good. It really is. It has that really nice feel on the road, and it just... This is so convincing. I love that it's got the tyre deformation as well. There we go, this is where we just about managed to squeak through this gate. Let's put that back a little bit and see if we can change the camera angle there and get a better view of that. Where are we? Zoom out a touch. Let's go over here. Right. There's the gate we're aiming for. Let's just leave it there, and here we come. Just about. Tyre marks are pretty close to the edge there. Yeah, that's really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. That's yeah, a good challenge to drive, but very satisfying, very rewarding when you get it right as well. Here we go, back into the hairpin. Quite hard tyres as well, because I think at that stage with all the drifting I've done, normally they would kind of puncture themselves, but that was okay. Just ended up overdoing it at the end there. Right, okay, I think probably one more and we will go from there this evening, and we'll see what happens next. So, something that we haven't yet tried, which was kind of on my list to try. I'm going to go with the Coquette Z5 drag spec. So this is a C5 Corvette in drag racing spec. So what we'll do is we'll give this a drive, and then maybe we'll pitch it up against the Manta, or the Ray, should we say. So let's actually need to go back to race mode so this works properly, and we find the Corvette again. There it is. Go to autocross and drag strip. Right, let's see what the Corvette's like in a straight line. We had so we're running 11s in the Civic, and was it 856? I think it was in the Manta. Let's see what this thing does. Get the V8 revved up, ready to dump the clutch. Oh, we died. Revs just dropped. Still ran an 8.3 though. Let's try and see if we can improve that, but with a better start. I'm sure we can get a 7 with this, I reckon. Oh no! Too much wheel spin. That's a goner. Oops. Once more. You did another van mod, but it's not the best, says Greg. Okay, well, let's run that. Let's do that next then. Okay, slightly. Oh yeah, we run a 7. There we go. 793. Still didn't really hook up off the start line. I reckon there's more in that. Let's see if we can lower that time a bit more. See if we can aim for a 7.7 or a 7.8. Let's do that. Ooh, we're wandering. Yeah, 7.9 again. Had to get off the throttle though because we were moving left, as you can see from the tyre tracks. It was a better launch though, it's just we got a bit too greedy with the throttle on the... Oh, red light. Yeah, we got a bit too greedy with the throttle just as we trying to... in the second phase of the start, really. Let's try that again. It's better. There we go, 7.68. That's kind of what we were looking for. So it's quicker than the Manta. That's good, actually. I like that. It makes you have to drive it a bit more. It's not just a case of just flooring it off you go. You have to manage your throttle inputs off the line and then also steering as well, because even there we were going outside of our lane. So that was fun. Enjoyed that. Okay, let's go back to hot lapping. Gruz 1 runner. Okay. I think I may have seen this one around somewhere. If not, we'll just search it up. Oh, hang on. Okay, we're going to have to do 2 more. We have to do 2 more. Is the one I want to show. There we go. The Gruz 1 runner. Here we are. Right. So what have we got then, Greg? Oh, I like the chrome lettering on the back. Very nice, and the hinges as well. The rear door handles. Very nice. Texturing on the seats look good too. So we got a stock one. We have a bus version. Okay, some very happy and excited passengers on there. What else we got? Tow Med Cop. Okay, so we got passengers and lights on the top. And then we have convoy. All right, well, let's take the bus version now, shall we? Where should we go? Let's go. We haven't been to Kyoto Ring yet. Let's do that. Let's see what this thing's like. So actually, just before we jump out on track, what's the specs? We've got a 2.9 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, rear-wheel drive, of course. About 143 brake. Let's put all of those brake horsepower to good use. I have to chuck some passengers out. I can see some ears in my in my mirror there. Convoy lights are working. Oh, cool. Oh, we've got some reversed lettering on the dashboard because I have mine set to right-hand drive. Maybe it's because it's meant to be a left-hand drive thing, but it's okay. Greg says that lady is really happy. Is she? Okay, that's good. Let's try and scare our occupants. So we did. I don't know if you've seen, guys. Some of you may have already seen this, but if you're new to the channel, you may not have seen it. We did a YouTube short video where we took a selection of the current vans and tested them out with their parallel parking abilities. Some of them were more successful than others. But it was fun nonetheless. Right, see what this thing's like through the corners. Well, they're not cowering behind me already, so it's a good sign. I've got some confidence in my driving. So, only 5 gears. Flat out at that's nearly 75 miles per hour in our van, loaded up with passengers. Ooh, got a bit of slippage from the diff on the rear. Oh, that's the clutch giving out, one of the two. Okay, Scandinavian flick it into this left-hander. Yeah, there we go. Proper van handling test. As we know, vans are mostly never really owned by the individual driving them, so they're driven in a very enthusiastic manner. So Craig says yes, it's meant for German roads, so it's German. Okay. Oh, it's in German. Oh right, gotcha. But it's a test on the autobahn. We should go back on the straight line test. See what we can get it up to. I think 75 is probably its max. Oh no, going downhill now, so heading towards 80. Steady on. Oh, we just nearly reached 80 mile an hour then, as we chucked it into the right-hander. Okay, I've got a transition corner coming up here. Saved it from tipping over. It's good. Let's just do a quick test for the old parallel park challenge here. I haven't got any cones set up, but let's see if we can parallel park in this little lay-by on the right. Okay, that's not too bad. Handbrake works well. It's quite stable as well, so I reckon that would do rather well in the test. It's good, that one, Greg. I know you're probably not a huge fan of it, but that's pretty fun. Right, so I said there were two more because there's one more I want to show you, which I have driven, but I don't think we've driven it on stream, and it's this. This is the Muscle GTO, which is a beautiful looking mod. It's obviously a Trans Am based or designed car. It's a Camaro, I believe. The Coal Bandit livery on this, but this is a really cool looking thing, isn't it? Typical 80s styling again, quite square, quite blocky, but side exit exhaust, big slicks, wing supports on the rear. Proper old American race car. Let's give this a drive. We'll stay here at Coyote Ring. Interior is looking good. We have a lot of bracing on the windscreen, as you get with the classic IMSA cars. I also see you've got some MSD ignition boxes. You might not be able to see those. It might be underneath the cameras possibly, but there's some red MSD ignition kit boxes on the dashboard there. But listen to this. What a great sounding V8 this thing has. Let's take this into the curves of the road course here at Coyote. Let's just up the force feedback a little bit. There we go. This is a nicely solid car through the corners. Not overly familiar with the Coyote Ring road course, so we're just going to take it easy through some of these corners, not push on too hard, but enough to be able to lean on the tyres and see what they can do. Oops, there's some grass we're leaning on. Oh, crunch. Alright, let's go somewhere we know, give it a chance. Oops, take those tyres out. Let's go to, well, let's do Blackwood. I know what we're doing there. Alright. Autocross. Oh no, we're on the got a layout set up, we don't want that. That's not the one we want. Right, clear. Go to GP track, right, it's better. Got the hot lap bug back again. Let's just exit out of there, go back into hot lapping. Try again. Right, this time we know where we're going, so we can put this thing through its paces properly. into the last corner. Quite a bit of weight through the wheel. Obviously, you've got the big slicks underneath you, so it's quite a bit of grip going on. Get it stopped. Use the torque of the V8. Third gear exit out of there. Do the first split there, 23.7. It was a bit loose through the first split. Right, let's go on the brakes. And to third again. It's good. It's obviously got a good amount of grip, but you still need to be a little careful through the corners just because it does have a twitchy tendency. So you got to be ready for be able to catch some of these little slides that creep in. Sometimes a bigger slide creeps in, but you can still control it. Bit of a twitch over the brow of the hill there. Let's go on the brakes earlier this time. Give ourselves a chance to get it slowed down. Wrestling it through the corners. There's the big sausage curb. This thing's really cool. It's I'm a big fan of historic motorsport anyway, so I love historic race cars, and this is got a bit of character to it as well, which is nice. Whoa, steady. Whoa, too quick into that. It's no recovering that one. But yeah, that's that's really fun. Take a look at that from the outside, shall we? This is it, just moving around over the crest of the hill there. This is where we outbraked ourselves into the turn one. Things chattering away on the brakes. But it looks really nice. It's low and slung, and it's well planted on the road as well, so it's good fun to drive that. All right. Well, that pretty much sums up our stream for the evening. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Just going through some of the new additions for Live for Speed, and as usual, there's a good level of quality mods in there and some fun, crazy stuff to enjoy as well. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much all for your company this evening. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm aware there's a few other big things going on in the world of sim racing or motorsport at the moment, so thank you very much for tuning in anyway, and for being part of the journey here at Sim Racing Bible and being part of the community. It's great to see some new faces here as always, so big welcome to you guys. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and we will see you all very, very soon indeed. Stay tuned for our latest video, which will hopefully be coming soon, but we'll be back with another live stream soon as well. So until then, take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time. But for now, goodbye for now.